Yeah, here it is. It's Friday, and not much has happened in here this week. It's pretty dark, and there's no light coming for a little bit yet. Like you likely know, there was a bit of a hurricane through here last Friday night, Saturday morning, I think, 6 or 7 days ago. Now I've been out cleaning up stuff, and generators running inside there. There's still lots of cleanup to do, but most of the access around here is open again, but there's lots of trees that are down in here. We'll just have to get down and flatten. Maybe I'll get a chainsaw mill and start milling some lumber. Who knows? The power guys haven't been around here yet. Well, for all of you that really wanted to know, I did find the roof to the lawnmower, but there's a thing bent there that I have to fix to be able to put it back on. The power guys were here, not here yet. The internet guys, wicked day boys, they were here yesterday, and they've straightened up that tower up there so it's pointing the right direction. Anyway, but here's a little bit of the aftermath. Like, I did a video, I'm pretty sure there's a link up here somewhere. I did a video of the hurricane. So I've got some of the cleanup. I did some videoing of the cleanup and running the saw and all that kind of stuff. And then I took a walk. We've cleaned up down to the beach. I guess I did the road to the beach, or the trail to the beach I did, and then I had help with the other trails around. And we've cleaned up most of the access to get in and out of places, and that there was a big old tree on top of the roof over here, and that's down onto the ground. Kevin helped with that one. He got it cut up. There's still a log over on Russ's roof over there. We'll get that next week sometime, I think. Anyway, and the view is opened up quite a bit. Like, you can see much more water than you used to be able to see down there. Anyway, so here we go. So I'll do a little bit of a video showing what I've done this week, and hopefully next week we'll have power and I'll get back to kind of normal. Who knows? Yeah, so need gas for the generator. So the first victim is the BMW, which is sitting here with maybe a half a tank of gas in it. The Volkswagen's got a full tank of gas, so it'll be the next victim if the gas stations don't open up soon. And I guess the boat's got a half tank of gas, so it'll be the next victim along the way. But hopefully this infusion out of the BMW will be enough to get the gas to till the service stations open up and get some electricity in Charlottetown. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, here I am. I'm gonna do some chainsaw work. Start cleaning up. You want a bit of closer up look? I'll go up and move it up over here. Yeah, so round about there maybe. See what goes on now. Here's the dog dish. Yeah, there we go. That's enough of that for a bit. So I'll get the tractor and I'll drag that big stuff out of the way. I suppose I could get after that one down there too, eh? Maybe I'll limb that one there, then drag the big stuff out of the way. Let's see. Yep. Then I can just push all the limits back into the forest here, and maybe I'll go over them with my bush hog, and that'll chew them up a bit. Anyway, it's got a start on it. Yeah, here we go. More saw work. Yeah, out of gas, so I'll fill up the gas and take a little bit of a break and get at it again. Yeah, there we are, back to more cutting. Yeah, there, that was a bit exciting when the thing flopped back on itself there. I really didn't have myself a really good escape plan there, so I'll be more careful in the future. And I think I'll just take down this tree here because it looks pretty lonely by itself there, and let new stuff grow too. You know, there's a nice height of stuff over there, so we'll let stuff grow up again in and around. This one here is pretty scraggy anyhow. Can you see that one? Right there. And I'll get the tractor and I'll start hauling some of this big stuff away. I'll just make a pile over there by the, whoops, pointing over. I'll make a pile over there by the boat, behind the boat, and then think about what to do with it. It'll likely be pretty good firewood logs, or it's long enough I've cut it so you can make saw logs if somebody came and got it. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, so I'll pull out a couple of logs. Yeah, and this is where I'm putting them. Yeah, there now. That's 3 logs on there. Sort of, that's how I do it. Anyhow, I watch Biff's equipment fairly often, and he's pretty good with his little VX Kubota. But it's got lots of extra weight on it, and it doesn't tip as easy as this one does. So, anyhow, he'd likely be shaking his head at how I do things, but there you go. Enjoy it all. Yeah, so interesting things in hurricanes. So then, when I parked the boat, I had it set right on this. The motor was set right on that board. So the Hurricane moved to the head about 5 feet. Heading for, maybe it was heading for the water, who knows, eh? Anyway, that's interesting. Ah, the pleasant smell of fresh cut trees. The relaxing sound of electric generators and chainsaws. The fish pond hasn't seen any power for, well, 6 or 7 days, so I see the fish in there though. I can just barely see them. Now, here I am, day 7 or day 6 or whatever it is, I don't know. Hurricane came last Friday, I guess, and it's Friday again. So, here we are. I'll just go and do a little bit of an update. Things are actually cleaned up reasonably well around. I've got the path to the beach open, and there's still like big trees laying everywhere you look. There's a big one right there, and the tree came off of the roof of this cottage yesterday. The internet, which is way up there on that tower, it's working now. No power yet though, so I'm still running off a generator. I don't know, you can see the power lines are still unhooked. Anyway, I'll take a walk down to the beach to show you what's going on down that way. There are a bunch of trees in here that we just pushed over to there. Yeah, now here we are getting close to the to what I call the Y camp. Used to be a Y camp when I was a kid. And this was all blocked off. There was an awful tangle of trees. You can still see the remnants of a tangle of trees up in here. But most of it I've got cleaned out of here, so there is a little bit of a tangle left. Cleaned out so we can get by. There's still lots of it on the ground everywhere you look. Now I haven't been up this way yet. This is out onto the Y camp. And these big pine trees, there's one that's standing here. These things have been here for 120 years or so. And that one there didn't quite make it. Oh, this one here didn't quite make it either, but it's a fairly new one. The big ones along the edge here, these ones here, the original ones, they were planted here 120 years ago, and they seem to have survived. That one there seems to have survived. And some of them, there's some seeds, like, there was a fire here a number of years ago, about 60 years ago, 50 or 60 years ago, there was a fire here. And pine trees like fires to get seeded, so there's a bunch of these trees here that were from the fire. But this one here, I'm pretty sure is an original tree, and it's fairly flat. And that one there, I'm pretty sure is an original tree too. And it's kind of down. Well, the lovely timber, I don't know what, we'll cut it up and stack it somewhere. Someone may want to use it for, well, we might get some lumber out of that, who knows. Make good 2x4s. Make good boards. Anyway, now the trail up there is opened up again. There's still debris in the way. I'll bring the tractor down and push some more out of the way one of these days. Yeah, so here I'll just carry on down the path the other way. I'm at my very famous bench. So now there's some debris along here still, but most of it's moved out. I came along here the other day with a tractor pushing this stuff out of the way over here, and don't you know, it popped the, what do you call that thing? It popped the valve stem off the front wheel, and then all of a sudden, flat tire and tractor. So I had to go find a place to have that fixed, and went to a place in New Haven, and the guy had all the old tools there for breaking tires down, and did it all by hand, put a new stem in and filled it up with air, and away I went, which was kind of an interesting experience. So this one, now there was a bunch of tangle in here that's all like that. Whoops, here I'm falling over. Tangled. These were down and tangled across the whole thing, and then they're piled in here now. Plus another top of a tree there. Oops, there I fell over again. Tripping over roots. The top of that tree right here came down, and it was over on here. But that got moved out of the way. A couple of little branches across the path yet. And that's the formerly known as the Green Cottage, is now the number 33, I call it, kind of, but I think they call it the Blueberry Lane Cottage. And in through here, there was a bunch of tangle in here, but not too bad now. I'll just carry on up the trail. Well, I'll leave it running. I mean, you've got time, eh? You've got all the time in the world. There is some big timber that came down around here too, like there used to be a little bit of a trail through here, but not anymore. That'll be a job to clean that out. And a couple of leaners up in here, but that's a job for some other time. And those guys there, just lots and lots of damage. But we'll take a wander up to Dana's place. Now that was a complete tangle of trees all the way through there that it's clear now. And it wasn't too bad up along here. There's a couple of big trees up ahead. I'll just shut it off for another minute. Now this tree here was across the gate up there. Can you see that gateway up there? It was hanging across the gate and we just cut it off and dragged it down. Had help in here with Kevin. Kevin and I did clean the trail out. There's going to be a wedding around here on Saturday, I think, just for photos and stuff. Or Sunday. This big tree here was hanging across the trail. We pulled it over there, so it'll turn into firewood one of these days. Birch makes pretty nice firewood. Then there's big trees along here that tangle of trees in there came down. Now, we'll just take a quick walk around the property here so that the owner can have a look at it and see what it looks like. That's kind of a nice tree there down. Or two. And this thing here is sort of hanging across the fence or the hedge line. Oh, there's a bunch of cleaning up to do here. It looks like that's not really on the shed, it's just sort of hanging. But for the most part, I think the garden made it out all right. Kind of ripped off any blooms that were left here. There's one tree here that's damaged. You might be able to push that up and make it straight again. Yeah, I think that poor old tree is having trouble anyhow, but might be able to straighten it out. Not too much. Now this thing here, the Iron Lady, she made it through all right without any trouble at all. That's must have done something right here when we put that up. This little tree here needs some help. You might be able to straighten that up and just see if it lives. Who knows? Some of these little pine cone trees, whatever they are, not as much damage as what could have been, so it's not bad. Could have been way worse. That one there is a little bit tough, and that one there is a little bit tough. And that tree there, a little bit hard time on it. This big tree made it through, but then the one at the corner didn't. And happy to say that this thing here is still on its stand, because I wasn't looking forward to putting that back up there. It was a difficult thing to get up in the first place. Yeah, so there. This tree at the corner here has seen some better times. Just snapped it off up high. But the gates are okay. Mostly not too bad. Yeah, now I'm over back towards the little blueberry cottage, and that was like all the way through here was a big tangle of trees. We came down, Kevin and I, and just pushed the big stuff out of the way. Make the path passable on a path. But there's pretty big trees all across here. Now, if you remember, or if you saw the other video, like, I'll just interrupt that thought. Here's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big trees. Nice saw limber, nice, be pretty clear timber. Anyway, now if you saw the other video from the other day, there was the top of that tree there was down on the ground here, plus that tree, you can see the stump was up against here. We just cut them off and dragged them away, the whole thing, branches and all, with the tractor, and put them in a pile. Over that way. Way over there. And then the big timber that was sort of salvageable timber I've put out here in a pile. Well, we might do something with that. Who knows what we can make, some 2x4s or make some 6x6. Whatever we can do. Anyway, that's kind of, you can see there's the transformer up there, and the power line is on the ground over to there. Well, that'll get fixed, I suppose. Anyway, that's about all for this little bit of the tour. Oh, maybe a bit more. I'll just go up here. This was a big tangle of trees up in here, but Kevin and his grandchildren, they were down and they cleaned it all up, pushed it all to one side by hand, which is a little bit of extra work. Makes it easier if you have a tractor to push stuff around with. And this tree here is a multitude of firewood there on the hoof. Oh well, there we are. That's all for now. Lots of saw work. Now this was a big tangle all the way through here. Got it all opened up and pushed out of the way. That stump right there came down and was right across the trail. There it is, going that way, the top half of it. And then there was a big tangle in here. Clean now, you never know it was a big tangle. A couple of sticks on the ground still. That one one there we got to get down. And then all the way through here, I don't know if you had watched the original video where I tried to get through here. There was lots of walking into the woods and around all this stuff. But now, fairly cleared off. But this thing here, there's these ones here, they're leaning across the path. So eventually they have to come down, but there's no rush to that. They're fairly safe. We'll wait and see if the winter actually brings them down with the wind in the winter. And then there's 3 or 4 of them right here too. But they're leaning up against, they're safe. They're not going to hurt anybody. Unless you're out here in a gale force wind. Now this was a big tangle in here. I don't know what happened here because it looks like it just blew right through here and cleaned a path out. Everywhere is in there is just pushed down. And the tree is creaking, so I don't know if it was that. I don't know. Can you see through there? There's a birch tree right through there that you can see. It was the one that was making all the creaky noises the other day. And look at this. It's all cleaned up and you can get down to the beach. Yep. Used to be a big mess. Not too bad now. I'll check in at the beach. Yeah, so this is the first time we've been to the beach in about 4 days. Get busy doing other stuff. The doggie's quite happy to have a walk. Sniffing out everything. Yeah, here we are, coming up on the beach. All this grass beside the beach is down. The pond is full of water and it's clean water now. The other day it was pretty muddy. And I went to town this morning and the tide was way out. And you can see where the sand came in over the top right here. But looks absolutely normal. Well, not so normal on this side. Got more beach now. That happens every now and then. I don't think the cliff got affected in any way over here because we were sort of on the leeward side of all the wind here. Anyway, there's your update. Another Friday at the beach. Bye for now.